So in the previous video we set up the sequence and we used case statements to make the program work sequentially. So it'll only work in each case whenever that case is active. So if the runox is active in the first case and A0 is active, then AExtend will go true. And next equals 10 and so on, it'll move through. Now the only thing that we didn't complete in the previous video was to compare the counter, and if the counter gives an output which would mean that the program had cycled 4 times, then we want everything to stop. So to do that, we will need to get it to turn off after the 4th cycle. So to stop it operating after the 4th cycle, we could go into the start-stop area. And we're saying if the start button is active, then the runox equals true. We can add a little bit to this else if area and say if the stop button, or in capitals, the counter 1 Q value, out value, is active, then the runox equals false. Now if the runox equals false, then because we're comparing runox in each of the case statements, the system will no longer function. If the runox stops being true, then the system will stop. If we do that in this way, use the counter 1 to turn runox false, therefore stop the system, we need at any instance, if that happens, we need the AExtend solenoid to go off. The reason we need the AExtend solenoid to go off if the counter 1 becomes active or the stop button is active is if we go back to the activity, it states here, if the stop button is pressed mid-cycle, then the cylinder should retract and stop. To get our cylinder to retract and stop, AExtend needs to go off. So to achieve that, if the stop button is pressed, AExtend needs to go false. So we can add that piece of code here. AExtend equals false. And that should allow us to achieve the requirements of the activity. So if I go to my project and build and check, I have 0 errors and 0 warnings. If you do have errors appear, then you can scroll up like so, find the areas in red text, and that will guide you to where your error is, and most likely it'll be a syntax error where you have missed out a colon or an equals sign or a semicolon. So come back to the next video and we will build a little visualization to test our system.